This is Light Talk, a light-hearted discussion on issues close to your body, mind, and spirit. Light Talk is brought to you by Bliss Oasis Ministries, a metaphysical arm of Bliss Oasis Africa, a counseling and life coaching company. You are invited to participate by sending comments or questions, writing them on the comments or description section below. Please subscribe and share. And now to the discussion, brought to you by Wanjiru Muthe and Patrick Ngugi. Welcome.
Thank you again and welcome to Light Talk. My name is Patrick Ngugi and my co-host here is Wanjiru Muthe. As you know, this is our second episode. We did the first one last week or in the last video. So this Light Talk is about shedding light on the three aspects of the human person and actually the universe, because the universe is physical. It's got a lot of knowledge also. There's a lot of information, so it's mental also, and it's also spiritual. So we are a reflection of that. But how many of us know about that? And as we said last time, we have to be balanced, our spiritual side, our body, our physical side, and our mental side. So we are here for the second episode, where we are going to start discussing the first law, the first of the forgotten laws. Remember, we introduced them last week briefly, but then we are going to go one by one. But before you go on, let's say hello to my co-host, Wanjiru Muthe. Hi.
Hi, how are you?
I am doing quite well despite the weather. I can see the way you are dressed. Niko na fulana mbili. But then that's how it is this side of the world at this time. I can see you're touching your head.
Yes, I'm surprised you don't have this now.
I had something. I had a jumper which had whatever the hood. But leo nimesema at least watu waone hii kidogo.
Una expose kipara kwa baridi.
Wacha ipumue kidogo.
Hey, it's very cold. Thank you so much for welcoming me yet to another episode.
Yes.
So that we can get to discuss matters about the wholesomeness of the human being.
It's true.
Like we said last time, we shall be discussing the forgotten laws, and today we'll be focusing on the very first law.
Yes.
And in case people are starting to join our conversation, please feel free to subscribe, comment, share, and discuss with us. Be part of our family. Be part of this unique discussion.
Sure, because we need to know that we are not talking to ourselves, and people there need to tell us, how do you find this information, this knowledge? Some of you may already be aware about this information, this knowledge.
Correct.
Yes, but some of our listeners or viewers might be their first time.
True.
So we need to share and get your feelings and views about this. And we also have, this is a YouTube channel, but we also have an audio channel through Anchor, where all these podcasts will be shared. So you can also go to Anchor and look for Light Talk under Bliss Oasis Africa. So how are you since last time we were here?
I'm just feeling so much cold. I think these days, every time I have to respond to greetings, I'm just like, it is cold. It is very cold. How are you doing? It is cold.
You're even scared of shaking somebody's hand because
who is shaking hands these days?
Yes, and
super cold.
Yeah, because some of our viewers will be watching this video maybe in months' time or so. We are recording it in early August. of 2022, and you can remember, or if you are watching it now, it's cold, but later on it will be history. So things are good. Last time we talked about how people are usually imbalanced.
True.
Some of them read so much, they have a lot of knowledge, they don't take care of their bodies because just reading. They don't take care of their spirituality, just reading, because they want to expand the mind. The others who just build up their body, either they want to make it beautiful, pretty, or fat, or huge, but they just want to look good. So they just focus on the aspect of the body. They forget the spiritual side, they forget the mental side. They are those who spend their church in temples, or mosques, or praying, hawakuli, wanangoja kwenda huko juu. Na wasome waongee, or they don't intermingle. And so it is imbalance because the whole person is a triangle of body, spirit, and mind. Hiyo ndio tunaongea, tunataka watu wawe balanced.
Yes. Umesema kuna watu wanangojea kwenda mbinguni tu.
Unafikiri mbinguni ni huko. Nafikiri kwa geography ya universe kuna map imechorwa na hapo ndio heaven. Hawajui pale wako ndio mambo kila kitu iko.
Okay, that is very interesting. Okay. So I think it's very important. They're not even having fun. They're like kwa safari wanaenda mbinguni.
But the question is, they're not even having fun. The question is, what is fun? To them, fun is being there, drinking water and bread. Sababu tunangojea kwenda huko.
Even fun is actually feeling cold. The cold we are feeling right now is also a way of having fun in this life. Like,
you're supposed to enjoy everything that we are thrown to us.
Yes.
So even a few minutes ago that we are complaining, maybe it's one way of enjoying the fun, because in duality, because the universe is in duality, you cannot appreciate warmth if you're never
until you have. Exactly.
So
and it's just a matter of time before we get to September and it is very hot and people will forget how cold it was in July. So the aspect of feeling everything is actually part of life.
Yeah.
Some people are just focused on going to heaven. They forget feeling cold is very important.
Watafika, acha ninyamaze, lakini wanaweza fika heaven.
Ati hapo.
Wanaweza fika heaven wakuta waliwacha Mungu kwa dunia. Because God is not out there. God is in the other person next to you. In fact,
exactly.
That's being with you, then he's in the next person. If you want to love that person. Tunangoja kwenda.
The idea of heaven has been created like it is a geographical place.
Yes.
Yes. That has gold, that has people dressed in white, praising day and night. Well, maybe it is true, but if you ask me, the idea of heaven is making somebody smile.
Yeah.
They talk up you found someone who was maybe just a little child who was crying and you talk to them and they are happy. That is to me the idea of heaven. You're in a town, you find someone who is stressed. Economy ni ngumu. You share a few words of encouragement and someone feels light, they feel a bit better. To me, that's the idea of heaven. Heaven is very simple. And also, as opposed to the image that has been created in our minds right from the time we were young. It's very easy to condition a young mind and create an image and program a young mind. It's very efficient, actually.
Yes.
It's very efficient. What you train a child in the formative years is what they grow thinking is the reality. And that is what actually happened with the idea of heaven.
Yes. Yes.
Love to heaven, Nico. Maybe those who went before us went to heaven.
Yeah, it is there, but it's not a geographical place. It's not up there.
Matwine.
Matwine is even worse. Matwine is in the clouds.
That's what
The twin.
that's what we've been trained. You know?
So now to get to the topic that we are discussing,
Yes.
I think we discussed, we shared some of these laws last time, and
Mhm.
I would like us to run through them before we now center on the main one, so that
Mhm.
those who are with us in the first episode can remember them, and those who are not there will also see them or hear about them, so that we can then concentrate on the first one before in the future episode we go on the second one, the third one, and so on.
Okay.
So if you don't mind, Wanjiro, could you read us just the list of the 11 forgotten laws? Then we take the first one and elaborate on it.
Okay, no problem. The forgotten laws are as follows.
Yes.
The first law is the law of thinking.
Thinking.
The second law is the law of supply. The third law is a law of attraction. Number 4 is law of receiving. Number 5 is the law of increase. Number 6 is the law of compensation. Number 7 is the law of non-resistance. Number 8 is the law of forgiveness. 9 is the law of sacrifice. Number 10 is the law of obedience. And number 11 is the law of success. So these are the laws that were unveiled by Bob Proctor as a motivational speaker, and they are quite interesting. That's why we shall be focusing on them. And we'll be discussing the first law, which is the law of thinking. So, Patrick, what do you have to tell us about this?
Thank you very much. Let me screen share so that our viewers can actually see what it says. And that, our viewers, that is the first of the forgotten laws. And those who will be listening on audio, I'll just read for you, but also for the people watching. So the first law of thinking is the first law of among the forgotten laws is the law of thinking. And it says, thought is energy. You are surrounded by the effect of your dominant thoughts. In order to have a good life, think good thoughts. What you focus on, whether positive or negative, will soon come to pass. Negative thoughts include worry, envy, jealousy, thinking of lack and limitation. Ask yourself empowering questions. Thought is a vibration, a frequency, which creates after its own. Have positive thoughts. So there, we have read a bit about the law of thinking, and it looks or reads so simplistic. Thinking, so thinking is a big deal. We are thinking all the day long. So what is the law behind it? Do you want to shed some light, Wanjiro?
I find these laws very, first of all, I was surprised when you said, like I said last time, that when you sent these laws, I think most people have, just like me, just like most people, I think we have come across these laws one or the other somewhere along. And I know most people are familiar with the law of attraction. And now we actually find that before we get to the attraction, we have to start with the thinking.
Yes.
90, okay, not 90, 100% of the time, we are always thinking, our mind is always on the roll, thinking about something. You see something, it starts rolling. There are so many things that will come to our mind. What you feed your mind or what you allow to grow, this is what I'm trying to get from what this person was trying to say, that what you allow to grow on your mind is actually what you're going to attract, is what you're going to create.
Yes.
You create a reality based on what you think. And that's what I'm getting from this. that you create a reality based on what is on your mind. If your mind is always thinking about negative things, then I don't think you'll ever see anything positive coming out of anything. You know, there's a saying that goes, when you put water in a glass and you don't feel it, how do you see it? That reflects our mind. There are people who will see half full, and then there are others who see half empty.
Yeah, half empty.
It's a reflection of what is going on in your mind. If you see half full, then your mind is always thinking of positive things.
Yes.
So you're thinking that at least I have something. You see the positivity on it.
Yeah.
Then there's someone who will see half empty. There's someone who is thinking on the negative.
Yes.
So automatically, when negative comes, there is a lot of there are concepts like complain, not being grateful. You know, there's less gratitude when you see things on the negative side, and it is so tiresome. It's so tiresome when every time you think about something, you're just seeing negatives. It's so tiring. I have been there at a point in life where everything looks dull. Everything looks nothing good.
Yes.
That's based on how you see it on your mind, on what you think.
True.
That's what I'm trying to get from this law of things.
Yeah, it's true. And again, the example I gave you last time, if you look at the world today, if you look, for example, you're in Nairobi, walk the streets of Nairobi, and what you will be seeing, the buildings, the trees, the roads, all that were once, each one of them were once a thought of somebody. Somebody thought this road needs to be bigger. Somebody thought a building needs to be here. And okay, if none of those people thought about that, Nairobi is still, it was 1900.
Okay.
Because nobody has thought. And again, one thought gives birth to another similar thought.
Yes, true. Yeah. True, very true.
Yeah. For example, you think a negative thought. It will give way, your mind will. Now we're talking about the mind part, body, spirit. Your mind part, you see something, your mind will give it a meaning. Another thought will come to support that meaning, and so on. So that if you're always thinking about negative things, your mind will always be giving birth to negative things. And that is what will surround that's what will surround your life.
I think that is what Bob tries to say by you're surrounded by the effect of your dominant thoughts.
Yes.
You have negativity.
Yeah.
Kila kitu itakuwa negative.
Because for example, two people may be in the same cell, for example. I mean, they're in jail, in the same cell, they're looking through the window. In this meme or cartoon somewhere, they're looking through the window of the cell. One is seeing the bars. Bars, the chuma, the bars. The other one is outside, he's seeing the trees, he's seeing the birds, and he's so happy with the beauty outside there.
Yeah.
Meaning, because of that, he is always happy. Therefore, because he's the other one is seeing the prison. He's already in prison. Both of them are in the same place. Who do you think the prison one will be happy with? And give a recommendation.
The one who sees outside, the one who is happy to see outside.
Yes, because that person, whenever they're given small freedom to go outside, maybe for exercise, he'll still be happy. He won't be answering rudely, he won't misbehave, but the one who feels already confined, he'll not be, so he'll be put more in, because he'll be attracting more of what he's thinking about.
True.
Yeah.
You know, also, I've also seen another meme that how does it go? You're like two people in a hole, like they have fallen in a hole.
Yes.
One is just so sad. Okay, fine, you're in a hole, you fall and you're sad. It's the end of the hole.
Yeah.
And then the other one is drawn digging up the hole and is making staircases to get out of that hole.
Oh, yes.
So it is a reflection of what you're creating in your mind. You're You want to just sit there because, for example, you've faced a challenge in life.
Yeah.
What does your mind tell you to do? Does it tell you to just sit there and feel sad for yourself? Okay, fine. It's good to feel sad. it's inevitable. But then what actually do you create with your mind? Do you create solutions or do you create a victim mentality?
And you see, see opportunities in every problems. Or you see, a pessimist, apart from the water thing, the glass of water, pessimists see problems in every opportunity. You give them a good opportunity.
True.
You tell them about a good opportunity, kwambia but sijui nani alijaribu sijui nini. but
you give them, you tell them something and na nikifail.
And
what if I don't go? What if I don't succeed? Why don't you think what if I succeed?
Yes, and opportunists, or not opportunists, I mean optimists, they see an opportunity in every problem.
Correct.
Yes, kama kwenu unakaa labda hakuna maji. Some people will complain hakuna maji, but an enterprising young man atatafuta mtungi na mkokoteni aanze kuuzia watu maji.
It is all in the mind. And I think the mind is we tend to be imprisoned in our mind so much.
Yes.
You know, you could be working here, you have freedom, but you're actually a prisoner of your own mind.
Yes.
Depending on what you feed your mind and how your thoughts actually, you know, how your thoughts are.
Yeah.
That can actually have a great impact. I think most people are unhappy or they're trying to seek happiness and they don't realize that happiness is a creation of your own mind. It's not out there. It's not a thing. It's not attached to a person. Happiness is within you and it comes from the thoughts that you feed your mind.
Yes.
Sometimes though, there are people who have the inability to actually have good thoughts. Maybe people with bipolar disorders, people with other mental issues, serious mental issues. Those ones, we could say it's just like the way one body part fails to function is the same way that the amphia fails to function. That is a different case. But that's a medical case. But the rest of us who do not have these issues, I think if we learn to control our minds, then we are going to learn how to manage a lot of life challenges. Because truth be told, this life has challenges. We used to think our life is smooth. There are no, it is a straight line. You finish school, you get a spouse, you get married, you know, you get employed. It looked so smooth. Then you find it's not even a straight line. It is a zigzag. It's a confusion. It is
yeah.
So at that point, your mind is likely to be distorted and like,
Yani mpaka unashtuka na kihoma.
So if you don't manage your thoughts at that point, I think at the extreme of situations, maybe you're so happy, you don't manage your thoughts again, because you can be overconfident and over happy and you think everything is always like that. And if you're so on the low and you don't manage and you're thinking everything is so negative, you have to learn to attain a balance of your mind and your thoughts. That is what I was getting from. Yeah.
Yes.
But there is also something else, Mr. Patrick, about toxic positivity. I don't know if you've heard that concept.
Let's hear it.
Well, yeah, where we tend to over positivize everything. Like trying to have a mentality of everything is going to be okay, when we very well know that ni kama kuna mahali itaenda vibaya. I think we need to have a realistic view and a realistic thought process that prepares you for the worst or for the best. You create a realistic world.
Yes, another thing is what we need to look at is when people are planning for something, maybe a trip or a party or some project, and maybe they feel it's a challenging, obviously, and they keep on telling each other, or they keep on saying, in the worst case scenario, we have a plan. So there's always a worst case scenario. But why don't we, as you said earlier, why don't we ask ourselves in the best case scenario? We focus on best case scenario, because when we keep on talking about the worst case scenario, we are not attracting the best. Of course.
Really?
Yeah, I mean, whenever you are in a challenge, sometimes you give up because you think, no, it might not work, because in the best case scenario is maybe I have not invested enough, maybe I've not done too careful, so that sometimes you even attract that bad vibration of worst case scenario. But if we try to learn to think positively, I'm not saying you don't prepare yourself for negative eventually, because life is vibrant, anything can happen. But let's keep on also thinking of best case scenario as we prepare for worst case. So what is the best, so that ukisha ujua ikienda vibaya utakuwa hapa, but concentrate on the best case scenario, because we rarely do that.
Oh, okay. but I think when people say, when people say preparing for the worst case scenario, that's because they're already focusing on the good.
And good.
And then
they focus on they focus on the good and the ugly. On the best.
They have to be.
They don't focus.
You see, okay, what I think is, let's say you're starting, like you've said, you're planning for a trip. Of course, what is on your mind is good things. Your mind is focusing on good things. Then there's that voice that tells you, what if things go wrong? You have to always
I agree.
always be prepared.
I agree. Things may not always go the way you planned.
Yes.
When you plan or think on the worst case scenario, also think on the best case scenario. But most of the time, I'll be in the middle way. The same place. All right. So some of these things are like, they're very subtle, but
yeah,
as the law says, we have attracted everything that's around us by what we are thinking. Because one thought brings another, then they create your environment.
But someone will ask you, okay, that's someone who is in the slums, not having meals, not having a good place to sleep, struggling financially. Are you telling me that those people attracted that situation? And you're telling, and the people in Muthaiga, the people in Kitsuru, did they attract that?
That's a deeper metaphysical question, which we can talk about in future episodes. But whatever you are, whatever you have, whatever your feelings are, you have always attracted them to you. Whatever you have, whatever is happening in your life, you have attracted it. You may not be aware. The people in the slum, there's something that is called mass consciousness. Some people call it race consciousness. Race as in not tribe or racial, but a collective consciousness of some people. You go you mentioned Madari or slum, wherever you go, those people, most of them, without their awareness, they have what you call poverty attitude. Sisi ni maskini, hatuwezi kuwa tajiri, tulizaliwa hapa, tutakufia hapa. But once in a while, you will see a good number of people rising from there and cross the road and start living in Muthaiga after education, studying hard and working hard with positive mentality, wanna cross barabara. Many years later, the children of the people in Madare, or rather Mudaiga, will cross the road because of what they'll be attracting eventually after maybe their parents die. But that's a long discussion. It happens and it's deep. It's deep. But
You know that one. You're likely to be. You're likely to be attacked highly because I don't think there is anyone who sits like this and like I'm attracting poverty. Poverty camp. There is nobody who does that.
not consciously. Not consciously.
Also, there is no one who sits and says, "Okay, I am attracting riches now," because if it was that simple, we would all be rich. So I think
earlier on, you talked about you are just aware of the law of attraction. You didn't know about these other 10 laws.
Correct.
So you have been attracting, not you, people who are poor have been attracting poverty while thinking they're attracting wealth. But those we can.
How so?
It's a long discussion. That one we can do the whole program. For example, why do people, Christians or not Christians, why are their prayers never answered? They keep on praying. Pray, wanashinda wale nisema wanashinda kanisani. They pray. Why are they not answered? Because they're not praying the way it's supposed to be prayed.
Okay.
Yeah, and we can have viewers, if you want us to discuss that, comment below so that we can have a whole episode about what we call scientific prayer. Because we pray to somebody who is in the clouds. Our prayers are never answered. There's a way of praying, but that is a topic for another day. So we have been attracting, and I think Jesus, he's recognized even in other religions, not just Christianity. Even in fact, he's recognized more and adored more by other faiths than Christians. We'll talk about that.
Okay.
He said, ask and you shall receive. So why are we not asking? Because we are not asking the style he asked.
Okay.
So picking in, today we are talking about the law of thinking.
But you do see that all those things revolve around thinking.
It is the whole world, the whole universe is about mind in motion, mind and that thought. The whole universe.
Yeah, because
the whole universe is the thought, the imagination of what we call God, the whole everything. And that trickles us down to us for that. First spirit, then mind, then body. Not the other way around. Yeah. Yes.
Okay. Yeah, I agree. But it's likely to be, people are likely to ask questions like, there is no one who would want to think that they want to be poor and then they attract poverty. There is no one who would think they want to be sick and then they attract sickness. You understand?
It's true.
But other than the things that are out of your control, something like something like wealth. Wealth is influenced by so many factors.
Yes.
Among them being political factors and economic factors. So thinking alone might not affect your wealth measures. Okay.
Thinking depends on the way you are thinking, as we have said. You can think negatively and you can think negatively without knowing you're thinking negatively.
And the thing about my point was that you may have a lot of wealth, but you're not happy.
You're
not happy.
There are very many healthy.
You may be in the slums.
There are many very healthy, physically healthy people in the slums than in the Yes.
That's the point I'm trying to deliver.
Yes.
That you may be also wealth-wise, you're on the negative side. Wealth-wise, you don't have a lot of material stuff. But then you're rich in terms of your thoughts, in terms of how you view life. Because again, thoughts, we tend to think that success or goodness is only associated with material wealth.
There you
But
are.
there is so many other kind of
Oh,
wealth that is not materialistic.
and so we have to
So
correct our way of thinking, and the law of thinking will tell us to do that. We have 3 minutes to go, and and viewers, the first episode and this second episode, we've been quite short, but in future we promise to add more time. And I think this law of thinking is very, very interesting. Don't you agree, Wanjiro? We can have a second episode of the same law of thinking.
I think we should. I think we should, because I didn't finish my point on thinking and material wealth.
Yeah, you did it, but note it down. We are going to
Okay.
we are going to start there, but note it down. We are going to start there for the third episode, because fundi wa mitambo ananiambia tuko na wakati mdogo sana. And this time we went away. So maybe you can say the last word before we go off.
No, my last words is just have positive thoughts wherever you are, whether you're whatever part of this world you are. Have positive thoughts. Feed your mind with good things.
Good things. A good
Even though sometimes it's inevitable, try to remind yourself that I need to be positive in whichever situation, wherever you are.
Yes, we call it self-talk, positive self-talk.
Correct.
So viewers, thank you again. This has been our second episode, only 30 minutes. In the future, we'll make it long, because we will talk to our superiors to add us time so that we can be able to really delve into this thing. So please comment below in the description part and ask questions, challenges, or support us, or say anything you want, so that in future episode we can discuss the issue you want us to delve more on. But for now, we have to go, and look out for the next video, the third episode, which will go further into the law of thinking. And before I go, I am giving you back to Move. Maybe she wants to say something.
Muvag was about Joto.
You're lifting your hand.
Sorry?
I saw you lifting your hand. I thought you wanted to say something.
No. I finished with have positive thoughts. See you until next time.
No problem. So viewers and listeners on the audio, thank you very much for being with us. Until the next episode, thank you and God bless. Kwaheri, Wanjiro.